Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lockpot, Season 12, Episode 6. We are the Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast. We're coming to you live from the unlit sign. And Nika IBEW powering Indiana Lake County Studios.
I think you
Turn on the sign so that we're officially on.
Oh, sorry.
Bam! We're on.
Boom!
Production is currently at a 2.
Yeah.
But it's rising.
Weird things going on in the studio.
Yeah, that's true.
We're missing someone to my right.
Yeah.
It's your daughter, man.
No call, no show.
No call. You know what? You're right. It's a no call, no show.
I mean, we got like in the city business, when you no call, no show, we usually give you one free, right, Phil?
This needs to go in her file for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
No call, no show.
You have to put it in.
Oh, yeah. We're papering it up.
See, this is why you'll always be chief of staff.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'll always have things like this.
That's where my mind
Tom
goes.
needs
We
to
were
be
talking about this yesterday at staff. It's like when you have bullshit like this happen, you got to paper it up. I'm
gotta
not
paper it up.
overlooking it because she's my daughter.
No.
I'm papering her up.
John, please insert this in Lindsay's Lockpod personnel file.
Hold it. Isn't that Steve's job?
Oh, you're right. Steve, please put this in Lindsay's Lockpod personnel file. No call, no show on May 14th.
Mayor, you could talk about this at staff meeting. You could say, I even wrote my daughter up for not
Lockpod.
showing up. Yes.
I was planning on that. Thank you.
The sad thing about this is, because it was a no call, no show, unless I just totally missed Lindsay saying she wasn't going to be here, Jill texted me this morning at like 6 a.m. and said, hey, is Lindsay going to be there?
Yeah,
Do I need to be there?
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, and I said, no, Lindsay's going to be there.
Because, because we were expecting,
The
one
notorious
of the owners,
LMP.
right?
Yeah.
One of the owners to show up, no call, no show our ass.
Do you think she was mad you recently had Chase on? And maybe
Oh.
she's...
Like, this is like
She did not. I'm pretty sure
payback.
She was telling us. She was telling us she had conflicts coming up. She said that to us the other day when we had dinner. But a little better
But it'd
communication.
be nice to be like, hey next
don't
Tuesday
forget,
is one of
tomorrow
those
is
days.
that day, right?
Especially since she's on the text chain.
It could be after you announced me as a guest.
That
Really?
could be.
She said,
Protest?
I don't want to be there with Phil.
Oh. Maybe
She
sad
was
you're
one of
leaving.
the people that put in for the job. So I mean,
there it
you
is.
freaking aced her.
See?
That's what it is.
I feel like we're getting an exclusive.
We are.
Like Phil, I mean, then I saw like a bunch of articles in the paper, but maybe this is like the first video exclusive.
This is the
interview.
first live interview of Phil since he's been chosen as the CEO.
Wow. Lockpod exclusive. Phil Taillon, new CEO of SSCVA, in the studio.
Snag.
This morning.
That's a snag. For
Snag.
Lockpod. We snagged him.
I like that.
Yeah.
Snag.
Well, once you made me the offer, how much money you offered me, I just couldn't turn it down. So here I am.
The goal today is to not get you in trouble before you start your job.
I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
I thought the mayor was still ordering you. Like, hey, you're on Lockpod next Tuesday.
I work for the city until the end of May.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
mayor's my boss.
You can tell him to F off after that as much as you want.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
That's what Sparrows used to do.
Whoa.
That's a good point.
So, in a way,
I thought we weren't mentioning the S word today.
I just did. That's that's the attitude
What's
he
in
took.
the newspaper today? Well, this is interesting.
Phil Taillon.
We want a light, fluffy interview with Phil.
That's right.
You know?
Hey,
Congratulations,
by the way.
Thank you, guys. Thank
well,
you.
we're going to get into that in a second, but I have something way more urgent.
Way more urgent than Phil.
Fucking Phil's life, professional life.
Phil, keep drinking your coffee.
Okay. All right. No, I want Phil's opinion on this.
Good. All right, good. Yes.
Okay, so the other day.
Well, this is kind of entertainment and tourism.
But I saw something the other day that pissed me off a little bit.
Okay.
So as everybody knows, the Northern Lights came.
I wish we had the middle finger that we got from Phil's neighbor. We could do Tom's middle finger.
Yeah. So the other day, we're in a part of the country where Indiana, during the solar geomagnetic storm, it caused the Northern Lights to flare down and everybody in America knows this because everybody and their mom was posting pictures over the weekend of the sky and these beautiful colors, and it was
amazing.
Yeah, dude, I was pissed because I went to bed at 10 o'clock like I always do.
I was pissed too.
I was like, I missed the fucking Northern Lights. I could have gone in my backyard and seen the Northern Lights. I'm too lazy.
I woke up in the morning and our family text chain had can you look at these photos even down in Florida or in Paris or in the dunes, and
so I see a social media post, Kevin, and the dude is like, it was a life-changing experience, and he shows the picture, and I'm like, it's like the dunes, it's freaking 15 minutes from my house.
It's like a rainbow.
You got it? Yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
Live Northern Lights dancing over Lake Michigan, Indiana Dunes State Park,
how beautiful!
Changing my life. This guy is this was heaven. Oh my God!
Look at that! I saw a post on Facebook that said the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Right, and
I think I've ever seen.
So you wake up and you're like, fuck.
Right.
I missed all this.
Exactly.
Because it's once in a lifetime.
For sure.
Right?
I was pissed too. I've never heard about this in the region.
Course.
And I'm like, what the hell? I'm so lazy. I'm so locked into my sleep schedule that I missed the Northern Lights, right?
Which is one of the most amazing things, apparently, that you can see.
I want to go to Iceland to see the Northern Lights.
Right.
So that I could, like, sit in one of those outdoor, like, hot tubs. Geothermal hot tub, you know.
Like the creek
and check out the Northern Lights, right?
Volcanic
we missed
creek.
this.
Right.
We all missed this. How did we all miss this?
Noblesville.
But this is interesting, though. So, like, then I start hearing some, like, background on these pictures. And they're like, yeah, this is, you have to, people are like, how did you take such an amazing picture of the Northern Lights, right? And they're like, well, actually, you put it on slow-mo, and you get the best pictures. So everybody starts putting their camera on slow-mo, which begs the question, well, what did it look like if you didn't put it on slow-mo, right?
What did you actually see?
We
right?
have that. We
like,
have a picture of
Okay,
that.
so let's do that.
This is an article we got out of Ohio.
Here. Before is at the bottom.
But that's just a normal sky.
looks like
it looks like your normal night
With
sky.
a little glow in it.
Little background glow.
Yeah.
And then the picture above is the same picture, and it's got all the purples and the greens and the yellows. It's like, wait a second. How could that be fucking life-changing?
Yeah.
It can't be life-changing if you didn't see anything with your eye. How could that be life-changing?
Life-changing what I saw on my phone.
Yeah, you posted on Instagram, and it became life-changing.
Well, anybody could put a filter on. Now, what I would say is I would say that like the normal photo, I think it would be exciting to see it with the naked eye. It's got to be pretty cool, but it doesn't look like this glowing, crazy color thing. Because a lot of times, like I'll be like, oh, that moon looks awesome, and I'll take a picture of the moon. It looks terrible on my camera.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's still something to the naked eye and see the Northern Lights, but it sure as shit isn't life-changing.
How could it
to
be
the point
life-changing
where
if
it
you
looks
couldn't
like
see it?
that?
I agree. It looks like Tuesday night when you look at the moon.
Now I don't feel so bad after
I
seeing
agree.
it. Yeah.
Tom's like, thank God I went to bed.
I'm glad I kept to my sleep schedule. There's nothing about that was life-changing unless, like, you're really into social media. You're like, man, it's life-changing. I got 1,000 likes on that picture.
Well, it's almost
That's
like
life-changing.
Put a filter on and take a picture and like say, look how life-changing this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could make myself look 15 years younger with a filter. That's life-changing.
You can do that on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that
That's
one show.
life-changing.
So this is what it says. Cell phone cameras have amplifiers in their sensors for better night detection. More importantly, the size of the sensor is physically larger at 30 millimeters compared to a human retina sensor, which is only 6 millimeters. That was an astronomer.
So the fact is, you didn't really see anything. You saw like a little glow.
You saw
and then you took a picture of it, put a filter on, and then it was super pretty. And then you're like, this is what I saw. No.
John, put another one of those crazy photos.
Yeah. This is
the life-changing ones.
This is French Lick Resort.
Okay.
Wow, look at this. Wow.
Dude, that would have been. But, like, what did it look like in real life?
We had nothing like that.
No.
In real life, it looked like a night sky. Nobody knew what the hell they were looking at.
I mean, it's cool with the filter, but I mean,
With
like,
the
it's like
filters,
your
it's
naked
cool.
eye can't see it. It'd be like saying, like, I can have a UV filter or infrared filter on my phone all day, and
Yeah.
this is what the world looks like.
Dude, I tell you, when I put filters on, I'm really attractive looking. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but, like,
you're
if I don't
sexy.
have the filter on, this is what I look like.
Some would say without a filter, you're still, you know.
Phil,
you're doing
is this
all
like
right.
dangerous to your job also? Because, like,
Phil's not saying
No,
much.
Phil's like, I am not dissing on the Northern Lights.
Not at all.
Like, in my new role with
This
the
is going to be a
SCBB.
tourist attraction for Lake County
Heads
in
in
the near
beds,
future.
Phil.
Yeah. No, I
Heads in
just
beds. You have to learn that phrase. Heads
have
in beds.
to.
Just say it every time somebody
Got
asks
it.
you anything tough.
That's
You're
all I
just
have to say.
Heads in beds.
What do you think of these
It's,
Northern Lights?
it's all
Phil?
about heads and beds,
feet
John.
in the street.
Feet on the street. heads
I'm
in
not a
bed.
good person to ask about. I don't get impressed. I wasn't impressed by the eclipse. It just doesn't do much for me.
Really?
So
It didn't put feet in the street?
It did not put feet in the street.
think
I did not hear that Lake County had an influx of tourism for the Northern
Some
Lights
places in
or the
Indiana
total eclipse.
did. Like
That's true. Some people drove to Indianapolis for the
Bloomington
eclipse.
was packed.
My
Yeah.
wife is one of them. Be careful.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm
And
just
then
saying
she
it's
was
not for
giving me
me.
shit about the eclipse, or about the solar flares that I thought I missed. And she's like, "You wouldn't drive 2 hours to see the eclipse, but you care about the solar flares." And I'm like, "I went to bed. I didn't care that much about them."
Was the judge impressed with the Northern Lights? I mean,
She didn't stay up either.
Okay.
We both are really diligent sleepers.
okay.
Right, but Marissa did drive to Indianapolis for
She
the
did.
total eclipse.
Well, that was
yeah.
during the day, so she didn't have to worry about her sleep.
She drove down. She's like,
Heads and beds down in Indy.
street and feet.
How's it go, Phil?
Wait, you guys
Feet
can't
on the
steal
street,
that.
feet-
I haven't even copyrighted that.
I
How do we
like
say
it,
it?
dude.
I'm going
It's
to
too
trade
late.
street in the feet. Feet in the street.
Street and the
Feet on the street.
Feet on the street.
Feet in the street, heads in beds.
That's it.
Those two together.
You've already
People are
got,
gonna be like,
you've
no
already got your
wonder.
like.
No wonder they
Did I
picked
just blow
him.
your mind?
You
You
did.
did.
They
Yeah.
made the
If I-
right decision.
Did you do that in the 7 interviews you had?
That's yes. That was the first thing I said, and they said, "Well, we
Feet in
could
the
stop
street and
now."
heads in
If you could
beds?
drop this mic, you would.
They're like, "We don't have any more questions."
Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, one, obviously, congratulations. Two, it sounded like quite a process. And this is your second time through it, right?
Second go around.
Can you talk about the process?
Yeah.
Is it true you did like 24 interviews?
So 2.5 years ago when this position opened up.
It was 2.5 years ago.
It was about then. I want to say it was right around then.
That's
crazy.
I was thinking it was like a year ago.
No,
or
you know what?
year-
I was campaigning for Senate. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was around that time.
When it happened, it was the summer I was campaigning.
Okay,
22.
there you go.
In that first process, I believe there were 150 applicants. It was a 4-month, 7-interview process.
You're talking 2 years ago.
2.5 years ago, yes.
And in that one, you made it to the final 2.
I made it to the final 2. Obviously, they chose Dave, and hey, it is what it is. I moved on, and then obviously it opened up again, and so this time around, it was about. I want to say the entire process was a little over 2 months, and it was 4 interviews. So if you count total, cumulative, 11 interviews and about, whatever,
300 people.
7 months of my life.
And 300
Nothing's
different
worth
people.
that.
Yeah, this time around, I believe there was about 250 applicants.
And
Wow.
that is great.
Wow.
That's a big deal. Get through all that. Congrats. That's big.
Well, after the 11th interview, you're an expert. I can pretty much interview for anything at this point. I think I'll be okay.
NASA?
Yeah, exactly. Try me.
I could do NASA.
Yeah.
So what's the? I mean, obviously you're going to be transitioning from chief of staff over to a CEO position at SSCVA. Just talk about what you're excited about in the new job.
Well, I just, one thing I think I've learned from working with this team and Mayor Tom in specific is, that we need to create our own destiny. And don't do what everybody thinks you are, because it's a perception of you. Don't follow that path. Decide what you want to be in the future and start working towards it right now. So I'm excited about learning all about Lake County beyond what I already know. I've grown up here my entire life, so all 51 years I've been here. And seeing what our opportunities are, seeing what we're currently doing well, because I know the SSCVA is doing some great things right now. I've certainly seen some improvements over the last couple of years. But I'm excited about looking at opportunities that we've never looked at in the past.
And you can kind of have your own, I don't want to call it agenda, but you can the cool thing about CEO is that you get to help direct the organization.
You really have to have vision for the future, right? You need to talk to all the different communities and leaders out there, look at what their initiatives are, and see if we can align them all together to create a synergy for the county and for the tourism agency.
And at least you got a friend in the county's biggest mayor or biggest city.
That's right.
Mayors.
I have 2 appointments to that board. Well, I mean, I don't have 2. Hammond has 2. I have 1, and the city council has 1. But those 2 work together, and it's nice to have a little block that helps you out because obviously Phil's a Hammond kid, and we're very proud that we have one of our own as the CEO of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. So
very cool.
The support I've experienced, especially since the announcement came in, has just been overwhelming. I mean, people are very nice, and it just gets you excited about moving into this new position and seeing what you can do.
I have a question for you, Phil.
Hit me, John.
What? And by the way, I mean you may need time to think about this. But
Oh.
you've been with the city a long time. What are you going to miss the most?
Wow. Well, man, honestly, no, this is truthful. The team that we've worked together with right now, Mayor's been in this position for over 20 years now. And so the team that's been put together, I've been working with for almost 16 years. I mean, we've had a few people that have moved on to better things, which we've talked about. Mayor's talked about it. Specifically as chief of staff, there's been several that have moved on to other positions. But I'm going to miss the team, honestly, because we're like a well-oiled machine. When we want to get something done, we do it. We know how to do it. We're very creative. We've always had a lot of energy in the city. I think we've done things that a lot of other communities don't do, just because we try and have as much fun along the way as while we're working hard to be successful. So I'm really going to miss working with the people that I have for the last 16 years.
I got a question for Mayor. Mayor, obviously, Phil's been kind of a mainstay as your chief of staff for
almost 6 years.
All right, 6 years. I
I mean,
mean,
that's the longest serving for me, right?
Right.
oh
correct.
yeah. Well, how
For a while, they weren't lasting very long with me. I went through quite a few.
how does this impact? I mean, obviously, you've got a city to run, chief of staff, somebody you rely on daily. How does this impact your day to day?
It's going to be a lot different for me. But the thing about Phil and I as a team, we were a good team. We are a good team, and I want to make sure that I don't mess up. So I'm not in a hurry to fill this spot. I'm not going to fill it at this point. I'm going to do it myself.
A lot more on your shoulders.
Yeah,
That's breaking news.
I don't know if it is.
No.
I said something last night at the council meeting, didn't I?
Yep.
I thought I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Similar. I just wanted to have
and I said it to the
lock
staff.
powders
Yeah.
listen.
Well, no, I mean, Phil does a lot, and but I also, and I think Phil would confirm this. I also feel like I get cut out of the loop sometimes, and I think that'll solve that problem. I won't be cut out of the loop if I'm the chief of staff and the mayor both. And by the way, Hammond taxpayers will be getting a good deal out of it because I don't get paid any extra. So, but I'm going to see how it works. And if I start going crazy and start getting grumpy, I'll probably hire a chief of staff. So
start getting grumpy.
Yeah,
Like June 1st.
But like it's better to make a good decision and get the right person than it is to be in a hurry and fill it right away.
I think that's right. I think that's good.
I think you're going to find a lot of interest.
I already have, which is good. And by the way, it's funny. Like, just a clue to the people. Like going through other people. If you want to be my chief of staff, is probably not the right move.
Go right to the top.
Dude, it's probably scary to
Call
come
the
up
mayor's
and say,
office.
I want to be your chief of staff.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the balls to come up and say, I want to be your chief of staff, you're not going to be a good chief of staff.
There you go.
Like, period.
Good,
and I know
kernel
exactly
of
what this
advice.
job entails. And by the way, if you're my chief of staff, you got to work for me directly. And Phil's
true.
not afraid to come up and tell me what's up, even if it's bad news. Phil's not afraid to do that. And like, if you want to be my chief of staff, you got to show me. And so far, nobody's shown me anything.
Well,
they're like, people are like texting other people to text me. It's like, this is not going to work.
Right.
So this is not the way
Gotta
to
get a hold of you.
This is not the way to get a chief of staff job in the biggest city in Northwest Indiana.
I wonder why they wouldn't approach you.
Maybe I'm intimidated. I don't know. I think honestly, in my head, I'm like the nicest, easiest guy to get along with in the world, other than when I'm not.
What's the percentage
That's
on
rare,
that? What's
rare,
the percentage?
John,
90-10. Normally 90. I think I'm normally chill and cool, and 10%.
I think that's about right.
Pain in the ass. So when I'm the 10%,
Yes.
I could be a total jag off.
It's not fun.
No, I'm a dick in
Well,
the other 10%.
Can you confirm, Phil?
Well, no,
Is it 90-10?
I'm going to put this in a
Phil
more
and I don't
positive
fight.
light. No, we absolutely don't. But
We don't ever fight. You and I.
No, and I think, when there's 250 applicants applying for a position, one of the things that put me in the position to be successful that I was is because in the 8th largest city in Indiana, largest in Lake County, we've done so many projects, and there's very few things that I don't have experience in from working for the city and for you, especially. I'd call you like an aggressive leader. You're somebody who doesn't sit back. No matter, every time I'd come to you and say, Mayor, I got great news. This new development's happening. I'm so excited. And you'd be like, that's great, Phil. What else? Mm-hmm. But you know what? That's the right mentality to have. You should always be focusing on the next project.
Right. Don't be satisfied, right?
Exactly.
And which I was going to say, like, for a city like Hammond, you need somebody like Tom.
Dude,
I
I'm
think
never satisfied.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing because it challenges your staff. It always challenged Phil, challenges me,
But like Hammond,
challenges your staff.
Hammond, like, it's funny. If I was a mayor of Crown Point, all due respect to Pete, or Valpo, all due respect to John.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could be a different type of mayor. You could be more chill. You could be like,
People are knocking your door down.
Right. Starbucks or Krispy Kreme. Let's go with Starbucks, right?
Today.
Right?
Next week we'll go with
Right?
Krispy Kreme.
In Hammond, we have different problems.
Bed
Like,
Bath &
people-
Beyond or Barnes & Noble.
Right? in Hammond, unfortunately, we have crime. We have financial issues. We have a next-door neighbor that's very violent. It's a lot different as the chief of staff and as the mayor of Hammond. We can't just chill. I said that about the haunted house. With the haunted house, can we sit here for 4 more years and watch the haunted house slowly fade
the
away?
fireworks store.
And the fireworks, we could do that. We could sit on 15 acres of land and not develop it like we've done for the last 20. We could do it for the next 50 years and just like let our city just slowly, dilapidate away. Or we could take ownership of a good piece of property like that and make it work. Like, I think if I'm the mayor of Valpo, I'm probably like, I could just chill. No big deal.
People are moving in constantly.
Right.
New subdivisions.
If
Right.
you're the mayor of Hammond, you're on the freaking edge. You got to move.
And
man.
no disrespect to Valpo or Crown Point, like the mayor said, they're beautiful communities.
man.
But
Well, I can remember probably 13 years ago reaching out to Starbucks and saying, hey, we'd love to have you in Hammond. They said, no chance. Your demographics don't work. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. And now they're looking at their 3rd and 4th locations in the city of Hammond.
And we're
and
getting real
successful
positive.
and being successful.
Absolutely.
We're getting real positive.
You
feedback.
laid the groundwork to get where you
But
wanted
Phil,
to get
that
to.
always happens to Hammond. Hammond gets
I
no
agree.
respect, man. It's like Rodney Dangerfield. Hammond gets no respect at all. Like, nobody wants to help Hammond. It's like all the money in the world right now. If anybody has like $10 million to donate, they donate to Gary. God bless Gary, but we're like we're struggling in Hammond, and we have the same challenges Gary has, but it's like if anybody has an extra couple $1 million, they throw it to Gary, and it's like, God bless Gary. They're just raking it in. And by the way, they're getting $10 million extra a year from our goddamn casino boat right now too. So it's like everybody's helping Gary, but like let's just let Hammond fucking dilapidate.
But see, that's the thing, Mayor. I don't think Hammond is dilapidated.
But it's not because I'm a pain in the ass, and I'm going to make sure that we're a pain in the ass. But like if we just sit back and chill, this city will go to shit, and I'm not going to let it do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I was going to say that the positive of all this and of your leadership is that it hasn't, and that it is in a good position, and it is a place that people want to live and are building new houses at a breakneck speed that they hasn't seen in decades.
It goes back to Phil's point, though. Our team is ridiculously great. I mean, honestly, if we were a baseball, it took 20 years to put this team together, and they're like almost to a person. There's not one person I would replace. Like honestly, it's like if you slowly over time put together a baseball team, and you're like, this is an awesome team. Like I got solid people on every position,
And I think you've said this because, like when you lose people, it's never a fun thing. But you've always said, I'm real happy when people better themselves.
It's a compliment.
And you've I'm just a couple that come to mind. Pete Novak.
Let's go slow.
Sure.
Pete Novak, CEO of Ganira, or NIRA now, Northern Indiana Realtors Association. Okay, who else?
Rick Kalinsky.
Yeah, he's like a director at NIPSCO.
Yeah, like vice president in charge of governmental affairs.
Is he vice president? I know he's a big wig. I thought he was a director, but whatever.
And there's economic development component to it too, because they kind of merged.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so Rick over there.
Africa Tarver. She's like running economic development in Texas.
Yeah,
and a huge city in Texas, right? Where's Baylor?
That was Waco?
Waco. Yeah,
is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Phil, CEO of Convention and Visitors Bureau, right? Tom Dabberton, CEO of the Headache Foundation, whatever. I mean, people have sat in the chair that Phil sat in. Bobby Lendy. Jeez, Pete. Don't get us started. Heather Gray, stolen out of the controller's office, like big executive.
But that says something, right? I mean,
that's why.
Right?
Honestly, Phil, that's what I was going to. Is like my people are getting stolen from me, and that's a compliment. If we were a freaking hot mess running our city like shit, you put in for that job, you don't get it, Phil. But we're like kicking ass, taking names. You're obviously a big part of that is the chief of staff. Phil puts in. He's got an incredible resume. He's got a good story to tell.
John
awesome.
asked
a compliment.
John asked what I'm going to miss. There's so many people that grew up in Hammond that potentially they moved south for whatever reason, right? Bigger homes, more green, less industrial. But that's what I'm going to miss is people coming up to me all the time and saying, man, what you guys are doing in the city of Hammond is great. It's unbelievable. Keep it up. They're just excited.
I know.
So
I hope it keeps going.
I'll miss that.
Because honestly, this is Hammond is on like a 30-year improvement plan, probably. I don't know.
I like that. Is that?
But like, I'm not going to be I'm not going to be the mayor for the next 30 years. No, I mean honestly, like the scary thing about what we're doing is if Hammond falls into the wrong hands once I'm up and done, and somebody comes in and demolishes this team we put together. Like they could screw everything up, everything we worked so hard for, and that's a scary thing. So like, I feel like a sense of responsibility, but I tell you, like, I'm freaking 55, man. And, I'm going to move on. I am. I'm not going to be the mayor forever. And, now honestly, like getting real, Phil was my guy. He was, when I'm done being mayor, he was the guy I was going to pass the mantle to. So like that leaves me in a weird predicament as well. And Phil still lives in Hammond, by the way. Just because he's the CEO of the Convention and Visitors Bureau doesn't mean he can't go back into politics if I fucking have a grabber and die,
Don't do that. It was a. This
is the kind of stuff you'll play back.
Yeah. When
like, it oh my God.
Remember when he predicted his own grabber? Well, last time they thought you were having one, they were
Phil,
wrong.
If you take over as mayor after my grabber, just shed a tear for me. Like
absolutely.
Name one, like a street after me.
I thought you said you wanted the sanitary district, like the plant.
Yeah, the shit plant.
Oh, nice.
That's a good joke, though. Everybody will laugh, but I want something like, something minor.
Okay.
Like the city name.
Easy enough, Mayor.
Like
we can work
Hammond,
that out.
the land of
McDermottville.
Whatever. Yeah, calling Knickerbocker Parkway McDermott Parkway would be a good one. I know you live there.
We'll do like a
it's
water fountain where it's your head and the water like shooting out of your mouth as people are.
Those are good.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
like
I'm
a
thinking.
fountain.
It'd be really cool.
Thinking. Yeah.
The Mayor Tom Fountain.
And the sunken garden.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Phil, we asked you what you're going to miss. It seems like you are going to be missed, too, because there's a lot of people watching and a lot of congratulations in the chat. So check those out later.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm not going that far. Like Mayor said, I just bought a house in Hammond. My office is going to be in Hammond. It's almost going just a higher level where I'm going to be working with the entire county and all the cities and towns in the communities, in the county. So I'm excited about still having that Hammond connection that I'll still be working together with.
County council, obviously the county council reviews the budget, reviews the budget now. That's something I talked about all the time when Spiros was CEO. I know that that's a recent change. I'm personally glad they do that, not because I'm anti-Phil or anti-Convention and Visitors Bureau. I think everybody's budget should be approved by somebody. And because of Spiros and the relationship he had with Dean White, they made the Convention and Visitors Bureau not report to anybody, so that politics didn't get injected into it, right? But now they have the Convention and Visitors Bureau budget go before the county council. I know you have a great relationship with the county council. I was wondering if that had something to do with your hiring, if you thought that had to do with it.
I think my relationships for sure were part of the decision-making process. I feel like I have great relationships with all the mayors, all the community leaders, the elected officials, and even the state legislators. So for sure that played a factor. I think right now in particular with the conversation about the convention center,
right,
and the fact that the state right now is offering $5 million a year for 20 years if there is a submission that's approved and selected, and they're talking about raising the innkeeper's tax to help with it. So I think if that project is going to move forward, you need somebody that has relationships across the entire county to get it done, essentially.
Wow.
Jill!
Now that is dedication.
Holy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jill. Nice to see you.
We
Jill
need it.
walked in. She knew we were womanless.
Unbelievable.
Kevin texted me at 7:30.
Well, no, but tell me what I texted you also back at 6:15.
You did.
Yeah, and I said, Lindsay is coming.
You know what?
I
This
know.
is going in Jill's file.
Paper it
we
up.
have to say that,
Paper it up. Paper up Jill's file, too.
Yeah.
like a
It's
gold
a good
star.
thing you got me that iPad when you did.
Commendation.
That's right. That's
do we have
right.
Lockpod commendations? That
We do now.
Yes.
We do.
You win, Jill.
Phil, what's your biggest accomplishment as chief of staff? Like the thing you're most, even as an employee of the city, like what's the biggest thing we were part of and the thing you're most proud of?
Wow. I guess I would turn to, one of the first initiatives you gave me when I first started was Oxbow Landing.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, it was dirt.
Mhm.
There was nothing there. And I remember, Mayor, you basically said, hey, figure this out, put something together. And I look, every time I drive over there, and I go to Byway Brewery a lot.
Yeah, I mean, just talk about for people that may not be from around here
Good
what
point.
Oxbow is.
So Oxbow, there used to be about, I think, 17 apartment buildings. They really wasn't really good for any of the communities around here because there was a lot of police issues. Let's just say it was, not the best development that could be right off the expressway. And so Mayor purchased the property. Obviously, the city purchased the property and demolished the buildings. And that was right when I started. It was September of 2008 when I started, right in the recession.
Good time for economic development.
Exactly. And so that was the first project where I really started making phone calls, kind of learning economic development, to be honest. I was in banking for 10 years. And anyhow, fast forward to today, we have 3 hotels, 3 office buildings, and a restaurant and a brewery. And so I'm pretty proud
It's
of
worth like $50-60 million.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And a lot of people, they drive over, they don't realize it's even Hammond because they think it's on the south side of the expressway, so it must be Highland. But
Right.
it's actually the Calumet River that
Major
is the dividing
misconception,
line.
what you just said.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I'm most proud of. But I have to think about that. I really haven't put a lot of thought to that.
Well, now
question.
there's I know the mayor always said now we have 80 million in assessed value there.
Yeah.
That was nothing.
I
So,
always just speculate and guess.
I
on
assume
that.
you're.
It's a
I
lot.
think that's about right. I don't know exactly, but
We
1
did an
trillion.
interesting stat yesterday. I messed up the numbers, but we brought in $1 billion of assessed value since I've been mayor.
that's awesome.
it's amazing.
It's 50% of Hammond's value has been brought in the last 20
Wow.
years.
It's great.
That's
And
crazy.
It just
know-
goes to show you.
All the communities are all connected. So if Hammond's doing well, Crown Point's doing well, St. John's, Munster, you should, across the board. So
Mhm.
that's a mentality that we all have to take going forward. Is we're all connected, so we need to be rooting for each other.
My whole approach with Hammond is just I have to be aggressive as long as I'm mayor. And you've been a great chief of staff in that regard. You and I worked well
Thank you,
together. You'll be missed for sure from me. But
I'll miss
I know-
working with you.
I know you have a big meeting coming up in a couple minutes, so you probably got to get out of here, right?
Yeah, but I really appreciate you letting me come on.
Could I ask you another question
yeah.
before you leave? You're going to come back on Lockpod, right? This
Of
isn't your
course.
last show on
Wow,
Lockpod.
Right.
good.
I will.
Like, I didn't know because we're inappropriate
We'll
sometimes.
keep it clean.
Just when I'm on the segment, if we can,
I find.
you're the CVB.
I find this a little bit like
I
kind
agree.
of bullshit.
The region is
I mean,
not
just
like
to call it out. Like, okay, Phil, we'll be really
right?
clean
We gotta
when
be
you're
prim
here.
and proper.
And
It's
then,
Lake. By the way, I know we call it South Shore. I want to remind you of something. It's the Lake County Convention and Visitors Bureau. It is. Okay. I know Spiro's rebranded at South Shore. That's what happened, right? But Lake County Convention and Visitors Bureau, you could cuss.
Yeah, can you
It's
change
like
that
be a
name?
little. It's Lake County.
One of your
don't you
first
have to do it right
acts.
now.
Oh, I was going to say, darn it.
Yeah,
You're
there
right,
you go.
Mayor. I
Rats.
really need to. Yeah.
Phil has really. You guys noticed this interview is very
Look
different.
how buttoned up
Yeah.
He
he
is buttoned up, man.
Dude,
He's even-
he's
probably
back in
like-
his banker days.
He tightened that tie so tight this morning before
Yes.
he came on.
Yes.
He's like, just
Dude.
remember.
Come on,
don't-
loosen up,
don't
man.
screw this up.
He's back in his banker days.
I want to just publicly thank you, Mayor, for the opportunities that you've given me. I'm saying this seriously.
My two members are going to mess with you so bad.
I'm used to
dude.
I
it.
gave him marching orders.
Just object on everything
Dude,
Phil wants to
it's
do.
just like we don't want Andy or anybody on the board to think that we're giving you favoritism because you're from Hammond.
No way.
So the two Hammond appointees are going to fuck with you.
Always going to be dissenting votes.
I think Andy needs to come on the show as well. I think Andy would like to be on the show.
Oh yeah, we'll
so-
bring you both on.
Yes.
I want to ask him what the hell he was thinking. With
Yes, so he would want to.
What the
No,
hell?
maybe we
Andy?
won't come on. That's a bad
Are
idea.
you sure? I'm friends with Andy.
Wait till I get more feet on the street.
There you
Before
go.
you bring me in.
Man, I love it.
Heads in beds, feet in the street.
It's his go-to.
Feet in street is the name of the episode, right?
Oh, for sure. Feet in the street.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in or on, but all right, we'll go.
Whatever.
With it. Phil,
He's the
congratulations.
CEO. He's the CEO. Don't fuck with him.
Yeah, oh, all right.
Right.
Hands off Phil now.
Oh, sorry, Phil. Don't mess with him.
Can't mess
right?
with Phil now.
Like the South Shore Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Prim and proper.
Prim and proper.
We'll see you
Phil.
next time you're on the
Congratulations.
pod.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, hold on. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations,
Oh,
Phil.
Do we have a?
Thanks, guys.
So we have like a. We don't even have that. How about the banjo on his way out?
Send a banjo exit. Good job, man.
I got the
Congratulations,
breaking
Phil.
news. I always wanted to be part of the breaking news.
presentation
So
that
it's
just
done.
was.
Thank you, Todd.
Oh,
Young.
wrong one.
Yeah. See you, Phil. Congratulations.
All right, here. Thanks.
There he goes.
Ah, there it is.
There he goes.
Out.
The Convention and Visitors Bureau CEO to a banjo exit. Hey, see you, Phil. Congrats.
See you, Phil.
See you. I'm crying inside, Phil. I promise. Yeah.
There he goes.
All right.
Just
All right.
like that.
I've never seen Phil so serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's like he's got CEO mentality now.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe.
Hey.
Thanks for coming in.
Let's talk about
Lindsay, no call, no showed.
Yeah.
Did you? So wait, when you texted me this morning, did you have an inkling she wasn't coming? Like, because we're in. I feel like we're in the dark.
Did she say something during it? I think she said something when we were all out.
she's when you were all out.
No, we were all out. We all had our dinner.
Oh, I mean, I thought she said something like she. It wasn't anything definite.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't
yeah,
anything
yeah.
definite.
No call,
All
no
right.
show. We all
Yep,
agree.
It's in
Paper
their
her
file.
up.
Steve,
Yeah.
put it in the file.
Paper her up, Steve. Okay.
Well, that
All
was
right.
exciting.
Yeah, it was really good. Thank you for the audience. We had a good audience during that also. So let's go ahead and do some ads and come back. And we got some good stuff to talk about when we get back. We're going to talk about Trump rally.
RFK Jr. and a worm and some other stuff.
Yeah, just shenanigans. It's going to be good.
It's gonna be bad. Now that we don't have Phil in the studio, we can.
No, we could talk about Lockpod stuff now that Phil's not here and representing the South Shore Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Please stick around.
Yeah. So anyway, let's do some ads.
Phil's family just all signed off. I know it dropped like.
Power in Indiana Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. Thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or does your business have plans to break ground on a new project? Don't leave important projects in the wrong hands. With IBEW Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit powerindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals who deliver on time and on budget. Find your electrical contractor at powerindiana.org.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Check out their website at mcrpartnersllc.com. For tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana with a 30-year legacy of excellence. Their experienced team, led by Rick Baltonsberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law, Are you injured or in trouble with the law? If so, give us a call and schedule your consultation today with somebody who's in the court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW. That's 219-554-4529. Or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Calumet Brewing. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer brewed for those who understand that it's only worth it if you enjoy it in the morning. Containing only 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, Michelob Ultra is a light lager brewed with the perfect balance of hops and wholesome grains, producing a crisp, refreshing finish. Head over to Cal Brewer Michelob Ultra's social media for info on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers, and cheers responsibly.
Hey, are we on Facebook? Can
Yes.
you guys confirm?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Because I just got a weird notification that my account was
68.
locked.
We have live.
Okay,
We're live.
cool.
We're live.
Hallelujah. The Bug Guy Pest Control are spiders spinning, flies buzzing, ants dancing, pests stirring, ticks ticking, fleas fleeing, centipedes creeping, pests pestering. Are bugs bugging? Give the Bug Guy a call today to evict these unwanted guests. Call 219-810-7481 or contact the Bug Guy on Facebook.
Prestmer Insurance Agency. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance. The Prestmer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
The Branding Room Floor, which is one of our new sponsors. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. The Branding Room Floor is Northwest Indiana's best full-service marketing agency, providing data-driven results to help your business grow. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, the Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started. Visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for our iconic red and white label at your grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local experts.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
Ku Klux Law. Are you facing legal challenges and don't know where to turn? Who are you going to call? Ku Klux Law. That's you. Your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and in Illinois. Do you need help buying or selling real estate? Call Ku Klux Law. Forming a new business? Call Ku Klux Law. Injured in a car crash or at work? Call Ku Klux Law. No matter what your legal issue is, call Ku Klux Law at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Who are you going to call? Ku Klux Law. That's who. Hablamos español.
Rogers Roofing. When you want the best for your home and family, trust the best in the business, Rogers Roofing. Rogers Roofing has transformed homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland for more than 55 years, providing quality roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the best warranties in the industry. To learn more and to schedule your free consultation, visit rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 today. That's rogersroofing.com. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time. A couple quick sponsor stories. One, Bug Guy was at my house yesterday.
Nice.
Doing it. Awesome.
Me
Thank
too.
you. Wow.
He came yesterday.
Two,
Lockpot Day.
Rogers Roofing, 2 doors down and across the street doing the roof.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're
Look
the
at us.
best.
They
Lock
are. They
Pod.
really are. We have great sponsors.
I wish
Everywhere.
if my house was broken, I'd be calling them too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My house is broken, just in different ways.
Wow.
Well, aren't you something?
That's deep.
You don't have pests.
Thank you
Nice.
to our sponsors, including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County Studios.
Yes.
So Mother's Day happened,
Oh, yeah.
and a couple things I did that day that ended me up in a little bit of a painful situation. Number one, worked out in the morning early, did a leg workout, and then two, played pickleball and tried to keep up with Charlie, who's my 19-year-old son, who's very quick and athletic, and basically kicked my ass. Although I got to say, I was with him for a while.
Yeah.
And it ended up poorly. The problem was, after that,
Yeah.
Pretty sore.
I was extremely sore in a certain area of my body.
Really? You're back?
No.
Your
No.
legs?
Let's just say it was just say it was an area of my body that I don't prefer being sore in.
Your butt?
Groin?
John, that was a great guess. The answer to
that's
that
a
is
good
I
one,
do
too.
not prefer to be sore in my butt. John, that was
Yes.
an awesome guess.
My butt is
and I
not sore.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
That you're assuming I do not like to be sore there.
So you like pulled a groin muscle.
It
or
was your
something.
groin?
Yeah, it was, in that area.
Wait.
Would you hit yourself with a racket or something?
No, I just think I overdid it.
Dude, that's so crazy, Kevin. Like, this is so crazy. You're not going to believe this. So, like, I was riding my bike Friday and Sunday. I did long rides, right? And, that bike seat's very uncomfortable. And usually I can handle it because I do thousands of miles on my bike every year. But something I did this weekend clipped me.
Groin?
Yeah.
Groin issue?
Well, I mean, more particularly where I sit on the left side. So my left
Oh.
guy.
Your left guy. I like
My left
that.
guy. My left guy. Dude, I'm like,
How did you know that? I mean, did you feel it when it was happening? Or
no. I felt it yesterday. Like, I woke up and I felt like I was constipated. And then I was like,
Wait. Wait a minute. All right. So any guy out there right now is
I'm so
probably
confused.
shaking their head or laughing like I am, because the feeling of being constipated and the feeling of your left guy hurting.
because it was like a dull pain.
Is it-
Like the
What?
whole
You're
side
pointing
was
to your
just,
side though. That's not how you
dude,
feel
I
when
woke
you're
up.
constipated.
I was like, the whole like lower left quadrant was hurting. And then I was like, because I just woke up. I didn't realize I hurt my ball. Right?
Tom wakes up. He's like, I think I'm constipated.
I
Thank
did.
God Phil left.
And then
the
I
new
started-
CEO.
Yeah, right. This is a good thing.
Now it's just the mayor of the
No.
biggest city in Lake County, but
So I started poking around, trying to figure out. And then I went, oh,
you're like, oh, it's
I hurt my ball. I'm not constipated.
thank God.
No, the weird thing is, the only reason I'm telling this horribly embarrassing story is because you and I hurt our left ball at the same time. That's so crazy.
Wait, was it your left guy, Kevin?
It was left. Yeah.
What?
That is hilarious. Dude, Kevin
is
and I
sad.
get the same injuries, Joe. We had plantar fasciitis in the right foot at the same time. And now we hurt our left testicle at the same time. This is amazing. We get like
This is
sympathy
sad.
injuries.
I
Are your
didn't even know
menstrual
that was
cycles lined
possible.
up too?
Yeah, they must be.
What's that, Joe?
I said I didn't even know that was possible.
I
don't
didn't
think-
either
I don't
until
think it
just
is.
now. That's incredible.
Yeah.
This is absurd. I don't know what's crazier, that or that you mistook a hurting left guy
Injury
for
for
being
constipation.
constipated. I still am trying to
I'm
figure that
cry
out.
laughing
Because they
right now
hurt.
because
They're very sensitive. Okay, so like if you hurt them, it's like a general pain in the
It is a
whole
ache.
area,
It is a
right?
dull ache.
So
Sure.
when you first
Yeah.
wake up, I'm not like, oh, I hurt my testicle riding my bike. I'm like, what is the matter with my lower left quadrant?
Yes.
My whole area is hurting, right?
Women really have it good, don't they? They don't have to worry about any of this.
be careful,
Down
Once a
there.
month.
Be careful, John.
They got it
Oh.
so easy, man.
Wow,
Don't
I think
even
that's a
dip
quote
your
of the
toe in
show.
that water.
Women really have a good
Joe?
dash, John Vesmar.
Jill, you got it good. Let's be honest. You don't have to worry about.
You don't have
lower
any of
left
this
injuries.
equipment down
Testicles?
there.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was reading a story about women that have the same problem on bicycle seats.
With their testicles?
No, not with their testicles. There's some, in 2024, you do have that problem with some people, but no, women have problems with they sit on, because I must have been sitting wrong on the seat, obviously, because I'm limping around right now.
Why
So-
don't you guys use seats with padding?
Sometimes it's weird though. Just
I
it kind of just yeah.
Yeah,
don't
I
know
think
how
I
to-
was sitting on it the wrong way.
Yep.
I think I was sitting on it the wrong way.
Obviously
A
sitting
lot
on
of
it
good
the wrong
quotes.
way.
We got a couple of funny things from chat. Gooch injury.
Is that what it's called?
And also Jeff Riddle. You guys are nuts.
Nuts.
That's a
I
good
get
one.
it.
Like that.
Aaron
one,
McDermott calling me. Hi, Aaron. Lockpod.
Thank you for listening, Aaron.
Just-
Thank you.
wait, did he injure his left testicle too?
Oh my
He's-
gosh, that'd be hilarious.
He's calling you right now to let
Yeah.
you know.
He said,
Yeah.
me too.
So Kevin,
It's another weird.
You're like my spirit brother.
What do you do with that?
With the
Like-
you just
let it heal?
You just let it go. You just
Let
like
it go?
Kind of
dude,
Just have
everything
a boring
hurts.
couple of weeks?
every time you take a step, it hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the underwear
Mhm.
hitting it hurts. Yeah, it sucks.
No fun.
So
Aw.
anyway, speaking of nuts, Trump had a massive rally in.
Oh no, we got to go to RFKs.
No, we got to go to Trump.
Okay,
Speaking of
all
nuts.
right.
I follow the script, buddy. Thank you. Trump. This is impressive. So I was watching TikTok over the weekend, and they showed Trump his rally, and he was speaking. And they showed the rally, and this rally they showed was It was packed, and they were all like cheering and they were listening to him. And they said, if you think this is impressive, this crowd, look at what's in the parking lot. And they panned 180 degrees away from where Trump was speaking into the parking lot, and it was like 5 times larger crowd in the parking lot waiting to get in. I estimated, I said 100,000 just quick off the top of my head. I guess it was 80,000 people.
80 to 100,000, they're saying. Yeah.
Dude,
That's
in
what they
New
say.
Jersey.
And I heard somebody that, which isn't too far from New York City, I guess, but same point I guess you're making.
Yeah, it's a freaking Democratic area, man.
Is that a lady who is familiar with the area said she's seen a bunch of events at this place and she would estimate it at that, which is pretty amazing. That's a big rally.
Do you remember Obama doing 80, 100,000 people rallies? I don't. And he was a phenomenon. He was a phenomenon.
Well, here's what else I would say, though. If you look at 4 years ago, right, all you heard was Trump at all these rallies and saying, like, Joe Biden's in the basement. He's hiding. Right. Joe Biden won.
Right.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're energized.
Okay, Kev.
They're fired up. And
listen, this is a show and we're just being real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, this is the thing that makes me worried about why 2024 is different than 2020 is in 2020, it was Trump's economy. It was Trump's situation.
Yeah.
Even though it was the pandemic and all that, it was Trump's
the incumbent
economy,
has those
everything.
issues, right?
You have all the problems of incumbency,
For
right?
sure.
Now it's 2024, and we can talk about the pandemic, and we can talk about what Trump did, but it's Joe Biden's economy. It's Joe Biden's problems. Gaza and Israel is Joe Biden's problem. Ukraine is Joe Biden's problem. The campus protests, those are all his problems.
These are all things that you said. Like it's the burden of the incumbency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're right about that. 4 years ago, Trump had all these burdens that he had to deal with, and he was, Trump definitely has the energy in the sense of he has these huge rallies. Joe Biden doesn't have big rallies, but
John said something yesterday interesting at pre-show, Joe. It happens every once in a while.
Okay.
Well, you weren't supposed to be on the show in our defense.
And Lindsay wasn't there either.
Lindsay wasn't there either.
If Lindsay was
in
there
our defense,
and no call, no show.
Did you just get together to talk about your testicles? Or?
Yes. No, John said something yesterday that was interesting. He said he thinks Trump's is on Ozempic.
Oh.
And I'm looking at this picture. He looks way smaller than he did a year ago.
He was pretty heavy for Trump. I mean, he's always a big guy, right? But I think he looked heavy when he left office and thereafter, and he's not looking like that.
Well,
he's trying to
never wears like a fitted.
This is
like
true.
His shit never fits him correctly.
You're right about that.
I'd like to see him golfing or something.
Yeah.
Because if you
when he's golfing, he
hide
looks
it.
bigger.
Right.
When
You can't hide it when you're
golfing.
golfing. You see the polo shirt stretched to its max and stuff like that.
Could it be the stress of all the litigation?
Could be that too. I mean, when you're under.
But he's been looking good.
So when you take Ozempic, from what I understand, your appetite just like shrivels. Like when you eat, you're just stuffed off of like 30% of what you would normally eat.
And this guy likes his fried chicken.
But still, you can still eat your fried foods.
You could.
You'll just eat
not
like
as much.
one piece of chicken instead of 3 or 4, like you would normally do.
Yep.
And like you're full after one piece of chicken. That's the best part of it, from what I understand. I've never taken it, obviously.
Did he announce Snooki as his VP running mate?
There you go. That makes sense, right?
That would be interesting.
It's a missed opportunity, honestly.
Since he's in New Jersey.
I'm interested to see if he keeps on putting 100,000 person speeches. That's a phenomenon I've never seen before. Like Obama in politics, I've been alive 55 years. In politics, the craziest thing I've ever seen was Barack Obama become from a state senator from a U.S. senator to the president.
From a state senator to U.S. senator to president in about
we
6
saw the
years.
whole thing. We saw the whole thing, like where we sit in
From
Chicago.
a community activist to a state senator to a U.S. senator to
we,
a
like when
president
Obama was
in 10
running
years.
So we saw the whole thing, but like when he ran for president, just the way America responded.
It was electric.
Yeah. So
I don't feel the electricity that Obama had, but I definitely see the amount of people that Trump's bringing to rallies.
Because Obama had people cross over, and Trump is not going to get that.
That's right.
Sorry, Joe.
No, I was going to say, out of those 100,000, like rough estimate, how many do you think are actually registered voters?
I would say a lot. I would say if you're going to a rally,
75%.
I would say if you're going to a rally, there's a lot.
Yeah, because there's kids there too. So obviously they're not right. And
yeah,
they count as part of the 100,000, but they're not going to vote.
I think a political rally, Jill, you're going to definitely find people that are invested in the campaign.
Right. It's like if you pulled Mayor's Night Out, same kind of thing, right?
Sure.
If you're showing up to, events, you're active, you're going to higher percentage. Like if we went through Mayor's Night Out and said, how many of you are registered voters? I bet you it's probably the same, 60, 70%.
I would say even higher, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you went to, You know,
I don't know, Cubs
Festival
game
of
or-
Lakes.
yeah, right, there you go. Right.
Festival of the Lakes probably down in
Yeah.
30%.
Right, or that are active voters, right?
Active
they
voters,
may be registered at 60,
active voters
but-
will drop even
for
more.
sure.
Right.
Yeah. And
And
so-
we had less than 15% in our primary last week.
11.
11%. That's
So
freaking insane.
9 out of 10 people basically didn't vote that
Mm-hmm.
could have. But yeah, I mean, think about it, right, Joe? Like if you're at a rally like this, you're probably waiting 2, 3, 4 hours prior, for it. You're invested. So
Isn't it there for the spectacle of all of it?
probably
Some people are. I bet you there's tailgating going on.
Oh yeah,
Probably,
some partying.
Can you imagine a Trump rally tailgate? I bet
Wow.
that's
I don't
Like
know.
something.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, you can knock off a Klan rally at the same time.
It's a white
like
crowd.
very
It's a
efficient.
very white crowd.
Come on.
Fever in the heartland. All right.
Fever in the
Enough.
Wow.
Sorry.
All right, enough.
I'm equal opportunity, John.
Yeah, he's ripping Biden last week.
I ripped
so.
Biden too. So, yeah.
Um,
All right. Well, hey, but who is going to be the vice president? Do we know at this point?
I don't
I mean, the
know.
vice president candidate, excuse me.
Yeah, what
John-
is this VP contender Doug Burgum?
yeah,
Is
the
this-
only
is
guy
this-
he
is
invited,
in
the
wow.
governor of North Dakota. So
Really?
like, yeah. He
Why would you get a governor from North Dakota, like a VP candidate from North Dakota?
Well,
like,
I think he might be
3
just
electoral votes.
I think he might just be inviting people that maybe he's going to vet for his cabinet, or like he wants to stay close with, or whatever. I mean, I guess he's. I don't know.
I would like if I was in a position like Donald Trump and you're running for president, I would want to lock down a tough state. I would like go Colorado. I would go like lock down a tough state that could go either way. Ohio obviously makes sense. JD Vance. He's probably, in fact, that's the guy I'm putting my money on.
it's interesting
you're
though.
right.
God,
So
I
you'll
hope
lock
not.
because he'll lock up Ohio.
Yeah, but he's got Ohio, and so here's what I would say. Like,
Ohio
but-
could
but-
go either way, though.
Sure. Here's what I would
But
say.
it could go either way, Kevin.
Not anymore. I would say when
Well, how about
Obama
Michigan?
was running,
How about-
Michigan go either way. So
You think Ohio's just a red state now?
I do. I
Okay.
think it is more apt to be red. It's probably
but
likely
don't they have
red.
they have a Democratic senator?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he's
they could
Sherrod,
vote
Sherrod
D.
Brown. Yeah.
Unlike Indiana, where it's been proven that
Well, but Trump chose Pence.
right.
Like
That's true.
Biden chose
That's true.
Kamala. She's
That's
from
true.
California. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true.
so,
Okay.
yeah. We'll see.
Touche.
We'll see.
Touche. Good job, Kevin. You made me look
Yes,
stupid.
trying to remember. I didn't.
Good job.
No,
Good job.
it was just a
You
historical reference to try to remind us of where we've been. I mean, Obama chose Delaware with Biden.
Yeah. All right.
me
Let's
keep
move on
going.
to another batshit crazy elected official. Wannabe.
John and I, we the three of us had a good time with this story.
So, Jill, if you're Robert Kennedy Jr., like, you're going to get tons of votes, right? I mean, like, there's people out there that are like, I can't vote for Trump and I can't vote for Biden. Even though he's crazy, I'm voting for him because he's not as crazy as the other two, right?
Kennedy.
Right. And so, like, there's people out there that are going to vote for this guy, even though he talks like this and even though he's crazy. But they're still going to vote for him. So now he comes out and explains that there's a worm that ate into his brain and died there. And he's talking about this. And this is what we want to hear from a person running for president.
That's
I have
called transparency.
This
you don't have to be transparent about everything, Like, if I have a dead worm in my brain, I'm probably going to leave that one private.
This
You
is
were
one of
just
the
talking about your
weirdest.
testicles,
I
so-
was just talking about my testicle, though. That's true. But
So it actually came out in a deposition in his divorce. Is where it came. Is where
Oh,
it came
so he's
from.
not talking
Someone
about
fed
it.
it, I think. to
Gotcha.
them. Yeah, and so he said that he was experiencing severe memory loss and mental fogginess. That a friend was concerned he had a brain tumor, so he had a bunch of scans at Duke, and he got a call from a doctor who said that I think there's a dark spot on your scans, but I think it's a dead parasite. And so he said at the deposition, the abnormality was caused by a worm that got into my brain and ate a portion of it and then died.
Damn.
Were you swimming in the Amazon? Like,
No. You know what he was
John,
doing?
go ahead. John,
Oh,
tell us
God.
what your research
we're
has
glad Phil
revealed.
is gone for this
Okay.
next part. Right.
And-
I don't even know how this comes out, by the way.
I was joking a little bit about this last night
Uh-huh.
because this comedian I follow from time to time, Owen Benjamin, made this remark recently. And then I started reading more about this. And now I'm actually convinced this is how he got this brain worm.
Neurocysticercosis.
And this could be controversial, but I think it was because of analingus.
Okay.
Come on.
No.
John.
Hear me out. Look at
John,
this.
that's
This is from
disgusting.
Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Hold on. A person gets whatever this is by swallowing microscopic eggs.
Okay.
Passed
But, like, why
in-
do you think that this guy running for president did that.
Can I finish the sentence? A person gets this by swallowing microscopic eggs passed in the feces of a person.
Good morning, everyone.
Who has an intestinal pork tapeworm. How
That's
are
the
you
only way you
consuming
could get
someone's
it.
feces?
That's the only
Yeah, but
way you
Josh,
could
That's
get
what
it.
it says.
But the example they give, they said, for example, a person eats undercooked infected pork
There you
and
go.
gets a tapeworm infection in the intestines.
That's a lot
She
different.
passes tapeworm eggs in her
No, keep
feces.
reading it. Yep.
If she doesn't wash her hands properly after using the bathroom, she may contaminate food or surfaces containing these eggs. These eggs will be swallowed by another person if they eat contaminated food. Once inside the body, the eggs hatch and become larvae and find their way to your brain.
Okay.
Exhibit B.
Okay.
RFK kept a diary
Uh-huh.
of affairs. Did you guys know this?
No.
From 2001, he had a diary that includes the names of 37 women he had an extramarital affair
That's
with.
a lot.
Oh, and by the way, and a number next to their name corresponding to the sexual act.
That's
This guy,
crazy.
he is getting down, man.
He is
That is
detail
insane.
oriented.
Whoa.
That is pretty incredible.
And then it says Kennedy told the Post he had
Also
no diary.
stupid.
How far off do you think my theory is now? Huh?
But like
37 women?
I don't want to even guess. That's disgusting. But he also, this is crazy, by the way.
I'm like speechless.
He also, you want to hear what else he said at the deposition? He said that he also has mercury poisoning, likely from ingesting too much fish containing the heavy metal.
But
Dude,
He had
what?
10,
Howard
10
Stern has that.
times the level
Yeah.
deemed to be safe by the EPA, and he said in the deposition, I love tuna fish sandwiches. I ate them all the time.
Howard Stern has the same thing
Wow. Maybe
because he's a pescatarian.
Yeah.
He's a pescatarian. Howard Stern talks about it on his show. He has high mercury levels, and his doctor is telling him he can't eat fish anymore.
Ready for the next one?
Sure.
He also said in his deposition and the interview that he had contracted hepatitis C through intravenous drug use in his youth.
Holy crap!
But he said he'd been treated and no lingering effects with the
Keep
infection.
in mind, this guy's uncle was assassinated and his dad was assassinated. Okay.
He also has AFib.
I'm sure he's got some like peculiarities because of tragedy and
Sure.
loss.
I get it.
Yeah.
He's also running for president, so
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to vote for him just because he has tragedy and loss.
I'm not voting for him.
I'm not
because of
either.
that. I'm voting for him because he's the
A-
freaking least alternative.
He has AFib,
And he's
which
a Democrat.
increases your risk of stroke and heart attack. Although he said he hasn't had an episode in 10
I have
years.
AFib. I do.
Really? I didn't know that was AFib that you had.
Yeah. That's what it
Wait,
is.
what?
Are you,
I'm pretty sure I have
That's what
AFib. Yeah. Why are you
Okay.
looking at me funny?
because I didn't think that's
I
what
didn't
it
think it
was.
was-
That's
Yeah.
a pretty dangerous condition.
Well, no, that's what they were worried about.
Okay.
That's why I got sent down to the emergency room.
The other thing that he has is that he has, and this goes to the voice issue. It's called spasmodic dysphonia, a neurological disorder that causes his vocal cords to squeeze too
Right.
close together and explains his hoarse,
Right.
sometimes strained voice.
Right.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
That Kennedy family's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
The
always something.
whole family.
And they got tons of money, but they do have some major freaking problems.
Well,
man.
I think it goes back to what you said. A lot of tragedy.
I think
A lot of tragedy.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that this sucks so bad. That he's you got 3 flawed candidates running for president. I really think we have 3 flawed candidates running for president, and it's like it makes people think that our country's broken when you have the best option is, and I think Joe Biden's a great person. I really do. And I think he did a great job as president for the last 4 years, but I just think he's too old. I just think he's way too old.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the Democrats' issue right now is the messaging. I mean, like, I was just going through it. It's like there are so many things to talk about Joe Biden's presidency and what he's done, and yet we're getting like bogged down, and we got to
Bogged
get the
down in what?
messaging. I don't know. It's just like we're
Do you think Joe
not
Biden's
getting
gonna
the
be-
energy
Kevin?
factor out there?
The energy's not going to be
Yeah,
there.
I mean, when I see like young people saying like, "Oh, we're disaffected with Biden's stance on Israel, or Biden's this on the economy, or Biden's that," and like we're going to vote for Trump, I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
What are you?
Because the DNC put us in this position, Kevin. It's the DNC's fault. We're putting up a flawed guy that's not going to win. And
I
he's
think
not
he's
going to
still
excite
gonna win.
people. Okay, good. Okay, let's say he wins. Okay.
Yes.
Do you honestly think he's going to be the president 4 years from today?
I hope so.
Do you think he's going to be the president 4 years from today? And if he is, do you think he's going to be doing a good job? Or is Kamala going to be the president?
I have a lot of faith in the people around him. I hope he's going to be president in 4 years.
I think we are ruining our party by putting this guy up. I think that we're going to disassociate ourselves with tons of young voters that are going to be like, screw this party.
I mean,
I can't get excited about a 81-year-old running for president. I can't get excited about this party, and they're going to leave us, and they're going to go to Trump's party, and we're going to be set back for decades because of this, what we're doing right now. And it's the DNC's fault. I'm not mad at Joe Biden for being selfish. If you're president, you probably want to stay there. It's up to the DNC to make sure that we have choices, and we don't. We have shitty choices.
Well, this goes, you don't have to go too far back in 2016 where it kind of cleared the, I mean, there was a huge fight, if you remember, between Bernie Sanders people and Hillary's people about like how superdelegates were set up and how it was just set up for the, so I mean.
At least we had choices, Kevin.
Yep.
We voted, and it was exciting.
Yeah.
Right? What do we have now? No debates.
And a guy with a worm in his brain.
A guy with a worm in his brain is the best option if you don't want to vote for an 81-year-old or a dictator.
Yeah.
You got a dictator, an 81-year-old, or a guy with a freaking worm in his brain. That's our three choices. Welcome to America.
And by the way, a rare fact check from chat just came in.
Yeah?
From Marissa.
Uh-oh.
Says, Tom, you do not have AFib.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
We should
Thank you, Marissa.
let all our worried listeners
That is
know.
why I was looking at you strangely, because I was like, I don't think you have AFib.
I think
but
they were worried I have AFib.
I think that's probably true.
Okay.
All right.
Because
I'm glad to hear you don't have AFib.
I don't know. I know that. I don't know. I thought I did. So.
All right. Great. Congratulations, you don't.
Thanks. I feel a lot better.
Such a man. Tom is such a man's man. He's like,
Hey.
I think I have AFib. I don't know.
No,
I feel like that's something you
should
should know.
No,
for
but
sure.
could you ask her about my left testicle while she's on there?
She did not fact check that.
She didn't check.
No.
Tom, your left testicle is not injured. I'm like, oh shit.
Tom, you did
I must
not
have been
have constipation.
constipated.
I think we're wading into waters that could get you into trouble.
I'm already in
tonight,
trouble.
You better
Let's
wrap
be
up the
honest.
show.
Let's be honest. I'm already in trouble.
Let's just
with
wrap
Marissa's
it up.
commenting, so.
I need you to WebMD like the symptoms of that.
Right.
This is in the 10% range of when you
Yeah.
remember you're like,
This
I
is
don't
when
I don't get in trouble.
I didn't even have to say that, and
I
I just said it. Why did I do that? So anyway, it was a good show today, man. I appreciate you
show.
coming in, Jill. Thank you for shooting in. I have to touch base with Lindsay and figure out, because she was telling us the other day her schedule's jacked up because of her new role, and I have a feeling we might have missed it also. But anyway, so thanks for coming in, Jill. Good to see you. Thanks for saving us. Phil Taillon, congratulations again.
Yes, great interview with Phil.
It was a great interview. It went off the rails after Phil left, for the record.
Yes,
Okay?
it did. Well, that's because we couldn't hold off too long without doing regular Lockpod stuff.
Jay Vez, thanks a lot. Great
Yes,
to see
sir.
you.
Mhm.
Another great show. Thanks
All
for
right.
participating in pre-show also. That's always
Yeah,
nice.
that was good.
And Kay Chandler, you put this show together. It was a good one, man.
Oh, we all did. It was a
You
great
put this
pre-show.
one together mostly, though. Usually, like when we're rolling out a pre-show, it's a lot more put together than it was today.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Usually we have like a real good script, and today it was sort of freelance.
We were catching up with Phil a little bit. and
Yeah.
Just enjoying.
But we
each other's
know when
company.
we have a guest like Phil, we don't have to. We could just roll with that one. So yeah. So anyway, we appreciate you all. We have a funny ass video on the way out.
This is
sort
Tom,
of.
Tom, I just want a disclaimer here. Tom's video.
It's not
hilarious.
as funny as he's making it out
Right.
to be.
I think it's hilarious. So it's about a public service announcement that was done
From
in
the
the late
70s.
1960s, early 1970s about what to do when you catch your young
All
son in the act.
Injuring his left testicle?
Yes. So it's called An Awkward Moment for Ricky. And so we'll play it on the way out. Love you guys. Thanks for listening to Lockpod. Season 12, Episode 6 is in the books. We'll be back on Friday with another quality episode. Enjoy An Awkward Moment for Ricky on the way out.
Oh, excuse me, Ricky. Ricky, I did see what you were doing. It felt good, didn't it? It's all right. We all have feelings like this sometimes. I'm just glad you're doing this in the privacy of your own room. When you're a little bit older, we'll have to talk more about these feelings and what causes them and how we can control these feelings. I'm sorry I intruded on your privacy. I'll be sure to knock next time, okay?
This manner of response frees the child of guilt and assures him he is normal. It opens communication between parent and child and introduces the concept of responsibility for his behavior.